All right, so today we've got Trista here as our model, and what we're going to be doing today is kind of a little bit of a corrective kind of haircut as well as layering, reshaping, but she recently got a haircut and they did some layers in the front. As you can see, this side is dramatically longer than this side. It's probably a little bit more noticeable standing from back here as this back side hangs lower than this side. This side sits higher on the shoulder and this side sits lower on the shoulder. So what we're going to do is, one, balance it all out. We're going to have to use this side as our guide. So we're going to take this side up to match this side, go through, layer in the front, layer in the back, clean up the back outline so it's a little bit of a stronger outline. Right now, it's just not quite as strong as it can be, so we're going to strengthen up this outline back here as well. And yeah, let's get started. All right, so we have got Trista's hair wet down, and what we're going to do is we're going to start the haircut by establishing the outline, the length. You can already see in this very first section that I haven't cut, the line is actually at a diagonal like that right there, opposed to straight across. So that's probably one of the main reasons why this side is shorter than this side. This side, on the other hand, goes more straight across. So right here from the get-go, this very first section, unfortunately was cut straight here, which established more length going this way, and cut upwards to establish less length on that side. So we're going to have to correct that. So first thing I'm going to do is take my first section and we're going to go ahead and establish our new outline. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to hold the hair flat on my client's back so that's nice and flat. I can get a nice straight line. Okay, and now we're going to take this side, this is the longer side, and we're going to join this side with the other side. Okay, so now we've established our new outline and pretty much using this side as our guide. And what we have to do is, basically, because this is the shorter side, we have to use this side as our guide because we can't grow that side any longer, and then from that side blend this side. Okay, so now we'll take our next section and we're just going to work our way up the head to establish this outline all the way around. Okay, and then using the guideline underneath, okay, now we're going to take a section that goes all the way around from the back to the front. And what we will do is divide this hair in two sections. The section behind the ear and this section in front of the ear. So I'm going to comb this hair that's in front of the ear away, and we're going to cut the hair that's behind the ear first and then blend the two together. Okay, so again, using our guide underneath to establish our outline. Okay, so now that we've got the back, we'll now blend in the sides. And so I'm going to comb this hair straight down. And this is the hair that's in front of the ear. And I'm going to cut that, and then we're going to bring the next section down. And again, divide this into two sections. The hair that's behind the ear and the hair that's in front of the ear. So let's go ahead and separate that. Okay, so now, as you can see, because the hair's already layered, there is nothing to cut down here on the outline as far as the back. So let's see if there's hair here on the front that we can utilize to blend in. And it appears, same thing, there's no hair. This hair on the top section doesn't reach all the way down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and finish the other side, and then we will establish those layers that frame the face. Let's continue to work our way up, and there probably won't be anything to cut as far as this last section. So let me just double check. And as I guessed, you can see there's no hair that's hanging past our guide. There's a little corner here that I'm just going to round off. But now what we'll do is we will create these layers that frame the face. And we're going to use the shorter side because, like I said, we can't make that hair grow any longer. This is what's going to have to establish our framing the face guide for both sides. So we're going to do this side first, and then we will do the other side. So, I'm going to go ahead and wet this down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do this in small little sections. So the first section we are going to do at the very, very front. And right now the shortest section ends right here. We're just going to go ahead and use that as a guide. It happens to sit on the cheekbone, which I think is a great place for a first layer to start. If you've seen my other layered haircut video, I talk about how that short layer tends to make a great arrow kind of where it lands. It kind of accentuates that feature on someone's face. So sometimes cheekbones great, eyes are great, lips, jawline. A lot of people will just cut this first layer without it landing anywhere specific. I like to choose a spot on the face to accentuate that particular facial feature. Right now it sits on the cheekbone, so we're going to go ahead and go with that. So I'm going to take this first section, and that's it right there. It's already been cut to that length, so I'm just going to strengthen this line up. Okay, so then just freehanding this angle. So that first layer has been cut, but from that first layer there's a lot of inconsistency. So right now I'm creating a nice consistent outline. Okay, so working my way from the bottom. Up to the layer that I already cut. Again, strengthening up this line. it's just little by little working my way down, making sure that the line stays nice and strong so that it's a very consistent layered look in the front. So you can see we've got a much stronger line where before it was kind of just inconsistent. So now, just going to keep making sure that the line is nice and strong, cleaning up any loose pieces. Okay, and then carrying it to the back. Okay, and then blending it all the way to the back. And again, this was the shorter side, so this is the side that we had to do first. Now we'll have to match the other side with this side. Okay, so you can see right here we've got a much stronger outline now as far as the layering. It's an actual line where before it was kind of just all over the place. So this is going to make the layer look a lot stronger once we get to that, once we get to the blow dry part. So now what we need to do, obviously, is blend and match the other side to match this side. So again, we had to do this side first because this was where the hair was the shorter side, or was shorter basically, and so it was going to be our new guide. And based off of that, we could establish the other side to now match this side. So now we've got to make this side match this side so that we've got a symmetrical haircut this time. Okay, so now that we've established the outline, what I want to do is go through and establish some layering. So that way we can make the hair lighter, have it a little bit more fuller, more volume. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a center section right here in the middle back. And I'm going to comb this hair straight out. And it's very important to make sure that your outline falls out of your fingers so that we don't accidentally cut a hole in this outline that we've already established. So, making sure that there is plenty of hair falling out of my fingers down into the outline, or out of the outline. Now we're going to pull this hair straight back. And you can see it's already shorter here. So what we're going to do is take this corner off. They had done some type of layering at the top, but didn't do any layering here in the back. So obviously we had a short piece here, but all this length still here. They were trying to make it lighter, but they didn't really execute it all the way. So now I'm going to go ahead and follow the head all the way around. Take my next section and over directing it to the previous section. And there's my guide. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And we're going to continue carrying the sections around the head. And now I'm over directing backwards. Pulling this hair all the way back. Okay, and I want to make sure that I'm not going to cut the outline, so I'm going to drop some of that outline out and basically keep that outline solid so we don't accidentally get a hole there. And there's my guide. I'm just going to follow this up. And then I'm going to just take the rest of this hair and comb it back. I don't know if much of it's going to actually reach back here because it's already shorter, but just in case it does, we're going to go ahead and just clean off any of these little ends. Okay, so now the layers on this side are done. And you can see it's got a nice bounce to it. It's light. So now we're going to just do the same thing on the other side and blend this side as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through, blow dry it, and then we will cross-check it after it's all dry. Alright, so now what we've done is we've gone through and blew dry the hair, but now we need to cross-check it. So I'm going to take a center section down the middle, and we're going to go through and cross-check these layers. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to come from the underneath and just look for these tiny little flyaway inconsistencies. And basically lifting up. You can see there's a little corner there, so we're just going to round that corner off because corners create weight, which makes the hair heavy. Alright, so what we did now is we went through, cross-checked all of the layers, kind of directing it out, removing the corners, working our way to the top. And basically what we have now is the finished product. So we've got these layers that frame the face, layers that are all throughout the haircut that create a lightness, kind of a bouncy feel. It's kind of cool. You can take some of these layers and tuck them behind the ear, leave some of these layers out. What's nice is they land on that cheekbone like we were talking about, so that it kind of accentuates the cheekbone. Again, I like to accentuate certain features of the face. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, don't forget to put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.